Station Johnny on 2 for Melfi.
We're 10 seconds from an 11-minute LOL.
Just wondering if Melfi 3 is good for me to put in my sample.
You go.
So Johnny on 2. I was calling earlier initially to ask about Melfi. I had inserted my skin samples around 6:45, 6:50, and about 40 minutes had passed for my other collection. I know you all want to make sure the sample, that Melfi is cold and stabilized. I had looked at it for 10 minutes, the temperature was stabilized, and I ran out of time to insert my other sample. So I just wanted to make sure that was okay with you.
Thanks for checking, Johnny. That is fine.
Okay. I got all of the barcodes in the crew notes. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Thank you for that, and we'll check them once they come down.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2 for...
Houston Station on 2. Jasmine, go ahead.
Morning, Talk. We had an RPC trip for a Node 2 shell heater. Could you please go perform a sniff check at Node 2 Deck 4?
Copy. Sniff check at Node 2 Deck 4. Neighbor is right there, so she's doing Houston Station on 2 for sniff check. We don't smell anything in the Node 2 Deck 4 area. No indication of possible fire. The CSUCD readings all 0.
Okay, Talk, we copy all. Thank you, and no additional actions for you all.
Copy. Thank you.
Station Huntsville on Space to Ground 2 for Nicole. That is a good view of Sable.
Huntsville Station on 2 for Sable.
What you on to?
I'm in step 2. I've got the stir bag, the Siphonster bags, and then micro SD card bag, but I'm not sure what a Bitran bag is, and the interface tray foam container is empty now.
And the bit tray. And Nicole was back with you on 2. Sorry, I walked you into a handover. You have it in your hand, the Ziploc bag labeled micro SD. Sorry for the confusion.
Okay, copy. So micro SD card is the Bitran bag. Got it. Thanks. And for Stable Step 4.3, I'm not saying a cap for the J7 socket. Do you want me to caps on tape that, or just keep moving for now and then come back to it?
Checking. And Huntsville's back with you on 2. You can move into the picture, and we're checking on covering the connector.
Copy that. Thanks.
Houston on Space to Ground 2 for Doc and Dragon Cargo Ops.
Yeah, he's in Dragon at the moment. We'll give him in a second.
Okay, I can just pass it to you. We believe you should now be able to see the Dragon Cargo Ops in Node track. Just please confirm for us when able.
Copy, checking. And Houston, in A-firm, we've got all the way up through 222 for steps visible.
Okay, great news. Thanks. Houston, Space to Ground 2.
Phoenix Station, Johnny 2. With a question.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Johnny Munich is with you on 2.
Yeah, sorry, I think I stepped on you. This message is for Munich. I have a question for the Columbus 24 switch activity.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Hey, good morning. I'm on step 2.5 for the 73-0161 procedure, and I'm trying to figure out which 120-volt DC power Ethernet cable I'm plugging into the black brick.
Checking.
Houston on Space Ground 2 for Johnny.
Johnny, go ahead.
For your question regarding step 2.5, should be connected, cable connected to J3.
Roger, Josh. Thank you. Helpful.
Copy. And Johnny, also, if you would mind sharing with the rest as you see them, we are not in Optimus down here.
Roger, ground's not getting Optimus updates. Let's spread the word.
Station on 2 for Sable.
I was just about to call you. We are in a good condition. It looks like we've been missing that J7 cap for a while now, so no action for you. But thank you for letting us know.
Okay, copy. And the samples and the sensor bag are all back in Melfi, so that's complete as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cuba Station on Space Ground 2 for CGS for step 3.3.
Morning, Park. We are with you on 2.
Morning, Sakurako-san. 3.3 pressure value is 8.
8.
Cuba Station on 2 for step
3.7. GGSE gas stop for Argon is complete.
Copy that. Thank you.
Unix station, Johnny 2 for Columbus import switch.
Johnny, go ahead on 2.
You're good to power up the sub 2 J3.
Johnny Munich with you back on 2. The SOP2 outlet J3 is powered on.
Roger Munich, I see the correct signature. This is for Houston. You're good to configure the port network switch.
Copies. Go to configure 20 port network. Station Houston on switch to ground 2 for Johnny.
Johnny, I see. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know whenever you do it, you have a go for your 11 Columbus 20.
Okay, I'll get that in work here in a little bit. Thanks.
Station hot, space to ground 2 for Nicole. That's a good field of view for NanoRacks. Copy, thumbs up. We copy that too.
So station on 2 for NanoRacks for the tube. I can see liquid moving on either side of the clip, but it's to tell moving across the clip.
We copy. We were just doing that too. Stand by 1. And Nicole, we see that clamps in the open position, so your best effort is enough for us.
Okay, copy that. And I was going to say I could try to move the clamp to a different point on the tube if you'd like and shake again.
And we will take that. You can go ahead and move that down just a little bit to see if it helps. So we copy tube 9.
Just to confirm, we're leaving the blue clip closed and shaking with the green clip open.
Affirm.
And would you like me to move the clip again to get away from Marie and the tube?
Negative with the shake on this one. Copy, thumbs up. Huntsville copies the view. And the PD team said that one looked great.
Yeah, I could see that one moving quite a bit with those, with the actual particulates in there.
Good news.
Houston Station, Johnny on 2. The Columbus 20-port network switch replacement is complete.
And Johnny, we copy, and it's looking far. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Houston Station on 2 for stowage.
Be on 2, Ann.
Guys, I'm working 205.08 and 09, and that calls 7 air quality monitor cartridges. I found 5 of them. They were not all in the CTB. There was 2 in the CTB. There was 2 of them that were in 5 layers of bubble wrap. And then those bubble wrapped ones were just stowed open in the locker. I've searched through that entire locker and that CTB twice. And on step 205.09, missing the 3rd and 4th barcodes listed.
Okay, and copy that you found 5 of the 7. Good job. That sounds like it was a bit of a hunt. And we copy that you're missing the 3rd and the 4th barcodes listed. You are go.
Okay.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2 for Ann and Dragon Cargo Ops. Houston. Station Houston on Space to Ground 2 for Ann and Dragon Cargo Ops.
Station Huntsville on Space to Ground 2 for Johnny, and set at your convenience.
Huntsville Station, I think that last call's for Johnny on 2.
Affirm. We were just going to offer you the ability to go early on AdSep if you'd like.
Okay, thanks. I'll check in with you before I start. Thanks.
Station on 2 for XPWD.
Station Houston is with you on ground 2, and just be advised, if we have ready comms on 2, we can roll to 3.
Hey, copy that. Just a question for you guys. It's fairly dusty inside of XPWD. Is it okay if I just take a vacuum and kind of try to clean up some of the dust in there?
For your go to use the vacuum.
Houston Station on 2 for cargo step 208.03. For step 208.03, I found total 11 of air quality monitor antennas. So do you guys want me to pack all 11 antennas in the ground B?
Checking.
Station 2 for XPWD, step 3.5.
Paper with you on Space to Ground 2. You are go at 3.5.
There you go, thanks. And Houston Station on 2 for XPWD, the locker 5 power switch is on, but the LED is off OFF.
Okay, vapor copy. The light is OFF off. That is burnt out, so you can proceed.
Yep. And Jaws, confirm the locker 6 bulb is also burnt out.
A-firm paper, lacquer 6, also.
And Houston Station on the XPWD, the switch is on ON, but the light is off OSS, and I'm not seeing any other LEDs.
Paper on the XPWD on, but the light is off. And paper copy, I see where you're showing, and standby.
And standby 1, I think I switched to the data switch. And Houston Station, the XPWD is on, LEDs on. The iodine filter LED spiked through the colors and now is green. And then it looks like a nominal light configuration behind the panel as well.
Okay, copy Vapor. Thanks for that report. And if you can you're able to get pictures in 3.10, that would be great.
Yep, I'll get you guys pictures.
And Vapor makes that step 3.1. Houston on ground 2 for TOC and AQM antennas.
Go ahead on 2.
TOC, sorry for the delay, but you are go to pack all 11 of the QM antennas.
Please, thanks. Houston Station 2 for cargo.
You on 2 TOC?
I'm in step 208, decimal step 7. I couldn't find the sim, so I need an alternate location.
Okay, copy that. TOC will look for an alternate location and get back.
Thanks.
Control Station, Johnny on 2 for ADSAP, verifying that you have a good lag camera view, and waiting for your go in step 2.2.
We're with you on 2, Johnny. Good view, and you are go for 2.
Houston Station on 2 for XPWD, looking for a go in step 5.2.
Paper, you have a go in 5.2.
Go, thanks.
Station Huntsville on ground 2 for Johnny and ADSAP. That's a good view. Copy, thumbs up.
Central Station, I have cleanup kit 31616.
Copy, 31616.
Ground 2 for TOC and cargo ops.
Go ahead on 2.
For the item in StoTrack 208.07 that said you couldn't find, we do think that's the most, so the only suggestion is to search the nearby areas. It's a smaller item, so it, might have floated into a nook or cranny, and then spend no longer than 15 minutes.
Okay, copy that. Can you give me the estimated size?
We think it's probably in about a 12 by 12 inch Ziploc bag. It's probably about that. The item itself is probably about that with a sheet of paper.
Copy that. Thank you.
And Johnny, we see that on the camera. It looks good. Copy, thumbs up.
Houston Station on 2 for XPWD. The procedure is complete. I'm going to put the pictures on SSC7 and then say the micro SD card that came out of XPWD doesn't have a NASA serial number on it. It does have one small alphanumeric code on it. I'm going to throw in a crew note. That's the only identifying number that I could find.
Okay, Vapor copy. That sounds good to us. And one more question for you. When you were doing your work, it looked like you were using the mini pliers out of drawer 4 instead of tweezers. If that's true, well, first, can you confirm? And if so, do you find a better tool than the tweezers?
I did use those pliers, mostly because I didn't know where the tweezers were. It wasn't on the stow note, and I didn't want to spend too much time looking for them.
Okay, copy. Thanks, Vapor. Great work. Everything looks good right now from down here.
And just for your guys' essay, I don't know if the tweezers are longer than the pliers that I used, but kind of like get the card out with my fingers and the pliers to grab it and pull it the rest of the way out. There was no clear path between all the wires for just the pliers or just hands.
Okay, we copy, Vapor. Thanks for that.
So Johnny, into the kit has enough gauze pads and BTK wipes, so I'm going to be putting them back into it. That's serial number 31616.
We copy.
Phil Station on 2 for LSG. The work volume is deployed.
We copy and thanks.
Houston Station on 2 for cargo.
You on 2?
It goes no joy for the searching of step 208 decimal 07. So I will close out the CTB and put it in the 632.
We copy. That sounds good.
Houston Station for those air quality monitor cartridges. had Talk and Johnny looked through the same locations. Those items are not in any location in B1 or B2, including inside of the other CTBs in those areas.
Okay, and we copy. Thanks for taking a dead look at that, and no worries, we can continue on without those. Thanks.
Okay, and if it's helpful, there are cartridges in the 8.2, 8.10 in the 4.0 CTB and Node 1 staged for return. I'm not sure if we were tracking that cartridges were installed, but I could think to look for other cartridges. But once installed, the cartridges don't have any identifying numbers on them.
Okay, and copy. That's good information. We'll see if we were expecting any to be installed in those. Not thanks for that.
So, Station Johnny on 2, confirming you have good lab views of ADSEP.
We do, Johnny. Thanks.
So, Station on 2 for LSG.
We're with you on 2 for LSG.
Hey, good morning. I just wanted to double check. As I was floating by, I was noticing that the power emitters and power control box are still installed in LSG, and making sure that that's an expected config with the upcoming Elvis Hops.
And for catching that and double checking, that is not an issue. That's still a good config.
Great. We'll see you shortly for that activity.
Until Johnny on 2, the cassette in with no issues. I'm going to proceed with closing the doors.
We copy.
Station on 2 for Stitch.
With you on 2. Good morning. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm not sure if this one's for you or for Huntsville. I'm on StoTrack step 219.03, and it has me pick up these collection kits, and the note says to trash any remaining contents. Both of these kits appear to be brand new and unused, and I just wanted to verify that you guys did want me to trash the contents. I verified the barcodes 21276 and 21277.
Copy, and we're taking a look.
Station for stowage, same question for step 219.04. Those kits appear to be new and unused. The other one appears to be about 3/4 full.
Good question. Copy 219.04, and we're taking a look.
Okay, thanks. I know it might be like an expiration date problem. If that's the case, inside of all of those kits are Ziploc bags full of gauze and full of BZK wipes, and wondering if it's worth hanging on to those. Those are hot commodities.
Fantastic note. Thank you.
Huntsville, Station on 2 for Elvis.
And we see that view on the downlink. We're checking if we're good with that FOV. And that is a good field of view. And for the rest of the activities, we're going to move to Space to Ground 3. Copy, thumbs up.
Huntsville Station for Elvis. Can you remind me if you said 3 or 4, please?
That'll be Space to Ground 3.
Okay, thank you much.
Station Houston on 2 for any available crew for StoTrack.
Station on 2, go ahead.
Good afternoon. If y'all are getting ahead on cargo ops, please hold for steps 221 and 222. We want to talk some things on the ground based on some CG numbers before you form those steps.
Okay, we will hold after, let's see, we won't start 221, so complete through 222 or hold prior to starting 221?
Do not perform 221 and 222. Hold prior.
See.
Station Munich on Space to Ground 2 for any available crew and camcorder checkout and Columbus payload laptop activities in Columbus.
Munich Station, go ahead.
Hello, we would need some help with activating the NASA camcorder in Columbus, and Houston will take from there some checkout activities. If you could help us with that, and then we have some further actions for Columbus payload laptop 2 troubleshooting.
Okay. Stand by. Munich Station on 2. Columbus camcorder is on and ready to copy for the laptop troubleshooting.
And we see camcorder on. When it comes to Columbus payload laptop, we would like to ask you to verify that Columbus payload laptop 2 is on and connected to Wi-Fi. In this case, we are expecting that LAN cable be disconnected. And location for Columbus payload laptop 2 is Columbus 143 rack front. How copy? Station Munich on Space to Ground 2 for TAC. We ran into a short handover, and we're not sure how much did you copy from the last call, but we would like you to check Columbus payload laptop 2 if it's on and connected to Wi-Fi. Location is Columbus 1-3 rack front. Station Munich on Space to Ground 2 for TAC and troubleshooting in Columbus.
Munich Station on 2. I unlock number 2 to Wi-Fi network ISS payload 2.4 GHz and it says no internal unsecured.
Copy tag, and we see you connected now from the ground. Thank you very much for your help. This is all that we needed for Columbus Payload Lab troubleshooting. And if on your way back from Columbus you switch off NASA camcorder, that would be very much appreciated since the checkout was also successful.
Okay. I will turn off the Columbus camera. Thank you.
Thank you, Tag, and wish you a great rest of the day.
Control station on 2 for Rhodium.
Good afternoon, Anne. We have no deltas today.
Copy, thanks. 1457 lights on.
Copy that.
Station Houston on 2 for any available crew for cargo ops deltas.
Station, go ahead for cargo.
Earlier we had you stand down from cargo ops steps 221 and 222. We have new delta steps for you. Let me know when you're ready to copy. You might want a pen and paper.
I have just that. Go ahead.
Okay, first step is we will be removing 1.0 CTB, serial number 1043, from SpaceX and moving it to PMA 3. You can reference step 158, stow track.
We remove 1.0 1043 and put it in PMA 3, and that is reference to step 158.
Good readback. Then you will replace that CTB in SpaceX with 1.0 CTB 1064 from PMA 3, and before you put it in there, just make sure it's at least 50% full.
Great, and that's in the same location that 1043 was, I assume.
Good words. And then finally, re-perform steps 159 and 160 in stow track. Can close out the last steps 1 and 222.
Okay, copy. We will knock that out.
Copy, thank you. Station Houston on 2 for Ann and UD note. Station Houston on 2 for Ann for some XPWD notes.
Station, go ahead for Ann.
Just some quick notes before your event, which is right before the XPWD activity. For your blue activities, FYI, the custom 1 dial on XPWD is to be 350 milliliters, which should match your procedure, so that'll make that easier. And after the flush activity is complete, we'll reconfigure custom 1 to be the standard 300 milliliters. And then finally, we'd like to request that you only use standard drink bags, not the larger SpaceX drink bags for that activity.
Okay, copy all. Understand custom 1 is 350. Honestly, those custom settings have been a complete mystery to me. So now we know that it is set to 350, and then we'll go back to the 300. Maybe I'll put a little note on there. And to only use standard drink bags. And we don't actually have any of the SpaceX drink bags available to us. Those are all packed away in PMA 2 in the Crew 10 return CTB.
Copy all, and it sounds like that makes it easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Station on 2 for scene and voice.
We are ready for you to perform a scene and voice check. Awesome, Vapor. Great job counting to 10, and it sounds good and looks good. Thank you. Vapor, while I have you on 2, FYI, we do have EME TV with a PA available for you if you want to watch.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We've got it up.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
We are ready for the event.
Houston ACR, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Houston ACR. How do you hear me?
We have you loud and clear.
Great. Please stand by for opening remarks.
Hi, my name is Ashley Scotto, and I am the Library Media Specialist at Boulevard Elementary School in Bethpage, New York. Our school has such a diverse population, but one thing we all love is space. To celebrate our reading achievements this year, we surprised our students with the opportunity to talk to astronauts at the International Space Station. Our students can't wait to learn more. Now here is our first question.
Hi, my name is Matthew. How do you go about your everyday walk with zero gravity?
Hey, Matthew, that's a great question, and welcome to the International Space Station. You know, our everyday life up here is very similar to you there on the ground. We have a schedule. We work science and maintenance up here. We work out every day. Lots of exercise to keep us healthy. We eat food. But the one weird thing is that sometimes you walk into a room and somebody's on the ceiling, or they're running on the wall. And so that's been the one thing that I've get used to here is it's a little different when you're in zero gravity, but for the most part, it's the same.
Hi, my name is Hanya. What was your favorite book in 5th grade?
Hello, Hanya. One thing that I loved to read was stories about people going on big adventures, because I knew that when I was an adult, I wanted to go on big adventures. One of those books was The Chronicles of Narnia. It told all about this fantasy land and adventure and exploring and new things that you can learn. And what I found is that when you read books, you get to go on trips in your mind, even if you can't go on trips in reality. So that's what really got me dreaming about all the things I could do when I grew up.
Hi, my name is Bryce. How do you take out the trash in space?
Hey, Bryce, that's a great question, too. So here in space, we have trash bags that we use, and we put the trash in there, and then eventually we get a Cygnus vehicle or a cargo vehicle that comes up. We load all of our trash into that, and then it burns up in the atmosphere when it undocks and goes back to Earth. So that way we don't get any trash on Earth, but we get to get rid of the trash up here.
Hi, my name is Esmeralda. How do you brush your teeth?
Well, Esmeralda, I will tell you that brushing your teeth is very important. You should always do it 2 times a day when you get up and when you go to bed. Even when you're in space, it's no excuse. And it's actually almost just like we do on Earth. So I have a little bag that has my toothbrush in it, and I have my toothpaste in it. And the one difference is that after I brush my teeth, I actually swallow the toothpaste up here because there's no other good place to put it.
Hi, my name is Angad. What is your favorite food to eat in space?
Oh man, I think my favorite food so far has been some M&Ms. I think we have some here for you guys. Let's see. Yeah, I guess they're candy-coated almonds. I'll hand you the scissors while we do this. But I love to eat things that are small up here and fun to play with. And Anne can show you a little trick there. Doesn't take very much. And play catch.
Hi, my name is Aaron. What is your least favorite food to eat in space?
All right, so all the food that we have actually tastes pretty good. But as Nicole is going to show you, some of the foods that are a little more challenging to eat are ones that are really crumbly. So she's going to show you a couple of crackers. And we have to be really careful when we eat these. In fact, we usually eat them by the air intake so that all the crumbs will go. And as she opens up those crackers, you can see some of those pieces of crumbs flying away. So it all tastes good, but some things are a little more challenging to eat than others.
Hi, my name is Gina. What is one piece of advice you have for students interested in going to space?
Oh man, I would say that NASA wants everybody and anybody who's really good at their job. So figure out what you really like in life. I loved math. That's what I studied growing up. Anne's an engineer by trade, but we're both pilots because we love to fly. So I would say find what you love, get really good at it, find a bunch of people that you like to hang around and be a good teammate to get anywhere in life. So I like to say hard work and teamwork gets you anywhere you want to go. So pick what you like, follow your passion, and you could get to space someday.
Hi, my name is Natalie. Can you describe a moment when an experiment didn't go as planned?
Yeah, Natalie, this actually happens kind of frequently, but it's also intentional because all science is asking really interesting questions and then figuring out a really kind of organized way to answer those questions. And on the space station, we are literally on the edge of what human beings know. And so when scientists say, I think something's going to go like this up on the space station, when we fly it up here, we're actually checking to see if that's how it's really going to go. Sometimes it's practical on, does this piece of equipment reach over to this piece of equipment? Sometimes it's looking at things like on a really, really small microscopic level and seeing how those little cells and little pieces move around. And so things often don't go quite as planned. That's one of the reasons that we're here, having humans here to be able to correct those experiments and get some good data out of them. So the advice I'd have to you is always stay flexible, and if something doesn't go as planned, change the plan a little bit.
Hi, my name is Cole. What is the coolest thing you've ever seen in space?
Oh man, I think the view is the coolest thing. I will admit the aurora is gorgeous. So we just went through, the fall and winter season we're in a solar max right now. So the aurora was really active and we got to see some beautiful greens and reds and whites. And it is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, dancing across the sky right out the cupola.
Hi, my name is Eliza. What do you think is the coolest piece of technology?
Well, Eliza, I think this whole space station is the coolest piece of technology that humans have ever created. It is so massive, it is about the size of a football field. And one thing that's really cool about the space station is that if you think about Legos, right, all your Lego pieces snap together. Well, the space station is like a really big Lego set. It was a bunch of pieces that were flown up all separately, and then they all connected to each other. And all of those pieces were made in all different countries. They launched at different times. But when they got up to outer space, all the pieces fit together just like two Legos. It was such a good design. So I think the space station itself, which is about as big as pretty decent-sized house, I think itself is the coolest piece of technology I've seen.
Hi, my name is Cora. What is the hardest part of becoming an astronaut?
Cora, so we do a lot of training once we get selected to be an astronaut. As soon as I showed up to NASA, there's 2 years of initial training just to be eligible for a space flight. And then you have another 1.5 to 2 years of training on top of that for the mission. So I think the toughest part for me in the training was actually the neutral buoyancy lab. It's that giant pool that we have, and we go practice spacewalks. It's the most physically challenging, but also mentally challenging thing that we do. But also it's the most rewarding because it's just you and your buddy. You're in the pool or you're out the door in the vacuum of space, and you have to figure out how to fix whatever you went out there to fix. And you have to troubleshoot and work together to get back inside safely and get repressurized and out of the suits. So challenging, but also rewarding.
Hi, my name is Edison. How do you sleep with no gravity?
Hi, Edison. We actually sleep pretty similar to the ground from the point we close our eyes, we get a little sleepy, and then we kind of doze off. Now, but where we are physically, we're not lying on a bed, right? We don't have beds up in space. What we have are sleeping bags. How many of you have slept in a sleeping bag? Probably quite a few. So we take a sleeping bag and we hook it to the wall in a couple of places. Because if I don't hook it to a wall, I might go to sleep in this module and then float over to another module in the middle of the night. I might bump my head. So we hook ourselves to a wall inside of a sleeping bag.
Hi, my name is Jackson. What is your favorite part of your job?
Oh man, I think my favorite part is being here and floating. But also, I think the best part about the International Space Station is all of the science that we get to do up here. There are scientists out there who spend their entire lives trying to figure out a problem and fix it or solve it, and then they trust us with that science, and we're the ones who actually execute it up here. So I really, really enjoy doing all of the science. It's really precious, and it's an honor to be a part of the science experiments that all of these scientists have come up with.
Hi, my name is Hanor. Can you read books in space?
We sure can read books, and we do read books. And in fact, we talk about the books that we read. Books are kind of heavy, so oftentimes now we send them up and we read them on our tablets, because then we don't have to launch such heavy books. And with the internet, we can put new books on. There are also astronauts reading books on the internet. So if you ask your teachers or the librarian or maybe one of your family members, if they can help you find an astronaut reading a book, they will be able to find a lot of books that I think you'd enjoy that we read in space.
Hi, my name is Olivia. Did you always want to be an astronaut?
Hey, Olivia, a lot like many of you, I bet. When I was about this tall, I wanted to be an astronaut. So I've always wanted to fly, and I've always loved space. I used to drag my family out to the
station for XPWD. I'm showing 1,900 delivered on the ambient so far, if you want to check my math.
Checking. And your numbers match ours.
Unfiltered station on space gun 2 for Rhodium.
So we're with you on 2 talk.
Yeah, flight of time is 1800.
And we copy 1800. Thank you very much, and have a good weekend.
Thank you, and you too.
Houston Station for XPWD. My math is that we have exceeded just over 3 liters on the ambient. If you'd back me up, please.
Concur with all, and FYI, the adapter you used, we'll need to trash that adapter, and TALK will need to use a new one, since the one you used is contaminated now.
Copy.
Station Houston on 2 for vapor and cargo ops.
Here, 2.
Earlier we called up some Delta steps to swap a bag out, bag in PMA 3. We just wanted to make sure when you did that bag swap, you didn't have to readjust or move any other bags in Dragon to access it.
I did have to move the 2.0 that was right in front of it. I took pictures of that bag when I put it back in and did their straps again. So the pictures of that bag should be on there as well.
You have a happy dancing ISO down here, so thank you very much.
I think if I remember correctly, it was like step 210. I just referenced that step for the constraints and loaded it back and took pictures for you.
That works perfect for us.
Houston Station on 2. I'm ready for water collection from XPWD.
Stand by just a few minutes while we command XPWD, and we'll give you a call when we're ready.
Copy, standing by.
Station Houston on 2 for talk. You are go in your XPWD procedure.
Copy, go for XPWD procedure, and for step 2.2, I have lot number Alpha Charlie Victor.
Houston copies.
Correction, that's lot number for the bag. Lot number for packet is Alpha Delta Delta.
Copy the correction. Station Houston on 2 for Ann. The follow-up questions. For our tracking, how many drink bags do you end up using, and approximately how much water do you think you dispensed into the towels? All right, that answers our questions. No additional. Thank you.
And Houston, I forgot to say that I used 2 drink bags, and I discarded the empty one, but then I just saw on my schedule tomorrow that I'll be doing this daily, so I'm just going to use those same 2 drink bags.
And we are happy with that plan.
Thanks.
Station on 2 for water processing.
Go ahead, talk on 2.
In step 5.6, I was able to pull the plunger only until at the 7 milliliter mark. How copy?
And we copy you are only able to pull this plunger 7 milliliters.
That's a good copy.
We're talking it now, talk. Station Houston on 2 for talk and 7 milliliters.
Go ahead on 2.
So we'd like to try to reach 10 milliliters on that sample if you can. So if you think the problem is the filter, the yellow filter, we point you to another filter you could use. Otherwise, it's just best effort to reach 10 milliliters, and you can proceed.
Okay, I think it's because of the existence of air inside the syringe. So here's on station on 2 for step 8.12.
With you on 2, go ahead.
Okay, I will store the incubation bag in node 1 galley area.
Houston copies. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you for support.
Station Houston on 2 for talk and a quick action in the lab.
Go ahead on 2.
Doc, sorry to call you after DPC, but this should be very quick. Yesterday, we had you remove a cap from the nitrogen port ISS rack in Lab 1, Deck 4. I'd like you to do that again. This is the Mic 2 nitrogen port. Nitrile gloves, go ahead and remove that cap, and this is going to help us do some water transfers throughout the weekend.
Okay, not a problem. And I'll let you know once it's open.
Okay, appreciate that. We do have a note to recommend hearing protection. There is a very small amount of night behind that line that will vent out and could cause noise.
Houston Station, the cap is off, and the sound was very minimal.
Copy, that's good data. Yeah, leaving it off over the weekend, we've got a bunch of small transfers we're doing, and so rather than have you have to remove it every time, I'm hoping we can just remove it now and not bother you until next. Thank you for the post-DD help.
Anytime, we're always here, and have a great weekend.
You too.